Hey, Justin Sinceri, licensed marriage and family therapist. I was reading this article on Psychology Today, and it's called "The Biggest Problem in Therapy," and it says you cannot fix a problem if you do not have a goal, which is, yeah, very true. And when you enter therapy, there should be no bones about it. Having a treatment plan, having a goal for therapy is pretty damn essential. Otherwise, you're kind of just talking, which can be helpful, I suppose, but how do you know when therapy's done? If you don't have a goal, how do you know when to stop spending money on your therapist? Your therapist and you should have these things discussed ahead of time of what therapy looks like when it's done. How do we know when we're done with all this? When you talk with friends and family, you don't exactly need a goal. You're just going to them for support and you talk. When you go to a therapist who's a professional, you do need to have a goal. You do need to have something to indicate the service is over. Recently, I had an issue with my front door. The lock kept getting stuck. I have no idea what to do. I'm not a locksmith, and I'm not a door carpenter person. I don't even know what they're called. I'm not a door person. So I hired someone, and we knew that the job was done once the door was able to open and close and lock without it getting stuck. That's what we agreed on, was that I would pay them for this service and then it would be over. It wasn't like they showed up, tinkered around with the door, and then did the same thing next week, tinkered around with the door some more, without us really knowing when it's done. Otherwise, they could show up and do carvings in the door and say, well, it needs more work. And my lock still wouldn't work. And so I would say, yeah, it needs more work. So on my end of things, I guess I would know what the goal is, but they also need to know what the goal is. So therapists and clients should absolutely be talking about what the goal of the service is for. It's a professional service. It's not friendship. It's not hanging out. When you talk with your friends, you don't have to have a goal for the conversation. You just talk. You just connect with them. You get support, hopefully. You feel listened to. And that's a friendship. Therapy is not a paid friendship. Therapy has a goal. It absolutely should have a goal. I would assume the same for coaching. Uh, my coaching experience, we had a goal. We had a very specific goal, actually. I would assume the same as for coaches, but I don't want to speak in general. But I know for therapists, for therapy, having a treatment plan and a goal is absolutely essential to the process. If you're interested in working with me as your therapist, you can find out more on justinlmft.com/therapy. I'll also have a link in the description down below. Otherwise, if you have a therapist and you two have not talked about when treatment's over, I recommend you do so. If you're a therapist who's not doing this already and you think it's okay to accept money for aimless potential dialogue, I would really encourage you. Actually, we kind of have to. It's part of our ethics is that we have a goal for therapy. So that's all. Bye.